Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video for Ink Road stamps. I am going to be creating a layout today using the stamps from the Pitch Please stamp set and the We Wear Pink on Wednesdays stamp set. So I off camera cut these hearts out on this pattern paper with my die cutting, my Big Shot. And I am going to stamp underneath those hearts. So it's gonna kind of come through the hearts. I got this idea from Kira. She's also on Ink Road design teams. I've seen her do this quite a few times, how she does like shapes and then stamps in the shapes, and I thought that it would be fun to try. So that is where my inspiration came from for this. So right now I'm pulling off the stamps that I want to use, and the ones that I'm going to use have the microphone, some little hearts, the little girl. It's like a, you know, on the bathroom signs where it has the person with a dress or a person with no dress. I'm using the little girl, which is the dress, the person with a dress. And then I'm using, that's my jam, that's my lady jam. And I'm not a regular mom, I'm a cool mom. And whoop, there it is. And some little like headphones. So it's all kind of music based. So I'm using some photos that I screenshot. So sometimes when I'm listening to music on iHeartRadio, whether it be at the gym, whether it be, you know, I'm just cleaning around the house and listening to music, every once in a while when a song hits me right in the feels, I screenshot it because I've always had this connection with music. And if you follow me on Instagram, you would have already known this. I've done Insta stories about this, but I am currently in therapy. And my therapist had me do a thing with listening to different music from my childhood and music from now, and write down the feelings that I had listening to those songs. So for me, like I said, I've spoke about it in my Insta stories a little bit, but I was sexually abused as a child, and one way that I coped was listening to music, and it kind of, songs spoke to me in certain ways, and they still do as an adult. They really speak to me, and it almost, when I was a child, felt like these songs were made for me. They were written just for me, or they touched a place in my heart that made me feel not alone. And so I wanted to kind of do a layout expressing that. This was right after I had gotten done with doing that exercise for therapy, and I really felt like I wanted to document that in some way, so I could remember that I have this connection with music. And yes, some of the little sayings are funny, but this is a real thing. This is a real connection that I have, and this is a real thing that happened to me. And it was really hard to come out and tell people this because I had kept it in for all of my life until 3 years ago. And I just recently said something on my Insta stories and kind of told a little bit about my story. And it was very hard to do. And it's still sitting here right now. This is very hard to tell you guys this, even though I'm not going into any detail. So, whew. But that's the reason, that's kind of the story behind why I wanted to document these photos, because I do have that connection with music. And so these stamps may be, you know, little sayings from different movies, and they may be funny, but this layout is a very serious layout for me, at least. The meaning behind it for me is very, very serious. So right now I'm just gluing all of that down, and the photos that I'm using, one is Kesha, which is a newer, these both are newer songs. Kesha, Praying, which if you have ever heard this song, it definitely speaks to me a lot. It speaks to me in volumes. And so if you have not heard that song, and you are a survivor of sexual assault or sexual abuse of any sort, I would advise you to go listen to that song. It's a very powerful song. Even if you don't like pop music or like music now, I would still suggest you going and listening to it and just listen to the words. It's very powerful. So it's from Kesha, and it's called Praying. And then the other one is a newer song as well, and it is from Shawn Mendes, and it's called In My Blood. That's a really strong, powerful song too, and it spoke to me as well in the same, same capacity kind of. So yeah, I would definitely advise you to listen to both of these songs. They're very powerful. I don't know about like the music videos or anything, but the words definitely speak to me, and there are two songs that are definitely have helped, like in not feeling alone, I guess. So right now I am doing some layers behind the photos, and I'm also going to keep it pretty simple. I'm using one color behind the photos, and then I did some vellum behind them as well. This layout is going to have a lot going on. So it has the stamping on one side, the title is going to be quite big, and then I'm going to do just a little embellishing. So let's see. And I've also got, two different pattern papers going on here. So there's a lot going to be going on in this layout. So right now I wanted to put a frame down here because I cut out a bow with my Big Shot, and I really, really wanted to use it. It's been sitting on my desk for a while. And so I wanted to put a frame there and then kind of layer the bow on top. And then I'm going to pull out some of the little like bubble looking, they're not sequins, but they look like water bubbles from Ink Road stamps, and they're super pretty. I'm going to use those in a couple places on this layout as well. And for that bow, I did use a glue dot behind it to help keep it down because it's textured paper and it's thicker, so I wanted to make sure that it was going to stick well. So here's those little bubbles, and I'm going to use them kind of like sequins. I'm going to put my 3 clusters like I always do. You can't really see them here on the video very well, but I'm sure in the close-up pictures at the end you will be able to see them a little bit better. I'm also cutting down some little banners to put up here at the top to layer. So I cut one a little bit shorter and then just layered it on top of the longer one. And then I'm going to grab those bubbles again and put them up there in a little cluster of 3 as well. I'm going to go ahead and glue down the photos. And the title, I'm using some really funky looking letters. They have been in my stash for a while. And it's going to be quite a big title. I'm going to be honest, it took me a while to decide on the title because I didn't have, I only had one S left and I really, really wanted to use these letters because they're super funky and different, and I just felt like they worked with this layout. So I struggled with the title. I wanted the title to be Music Gives Me Hope, but I didn't have 2 S's. So, and they're chipboard, so they're thick chipboard, so it's not like I don't even think you could make an S out of anything else though, so I wouldn't be able to cut them apart and try to make something out of it. So I end up using the title Music Gave Me Hope. It still gives me hope, it still gives me strength, it still makes me feel not alone in a lot of things. But yeah, that's what I did. That's the title that I'm going to use. And I'm going to do the rest of the title off camera because I was struggling with it. And so it took me a while to figure out exactly what I wanted it to be. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do it off camera. I don't know. Maybe I come back after I figure out. Nope, I just come back after I figure out. And I'm going to move it quite a bit. I'm going to move it over to the left. And then I'm going to go down the right side of that photo. So that is that. Yeah, Music Gave Me Hope. And that is going to be my layout for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss any upcoming videos. I will have Ink Road stamps linked below so you guys can get your hands on some of these stamps along with a coupon code. so you can get a discount in the shop. I want to say thank you guys so much for supporting me, and thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and giving me thumbs up. I truly, truly appreciate each and every single one of you, and I hope that you guys have an amazing day, and don't forget to spread love and be kind. Bye.